It's Jamie Wier, the Marketing Director at Blanchard and Calhoun. We are here at the Ronald McDonald House where we're going to spend a little time with David Jacobsen, the President and CEO of Ronald McDonald House. Follow us and let's go take a tour, find out what the Ronald McDonald House does for the community and how the community can give back to them. David, thank you so much for having us.
Jamie, thank you for coming here and for shining a spotlight on RMHC as we celebrate our 40th year here in Augusta.
Oh wow, 40 years. Okay, that's one thing we're definitely going to touch on today. So kind of as we're going into this, tell us a little bit about Ronald McDonald House, your history, your mission. Give us an overview.
The Ronald McDonald House really, it is all about leading with compassion, and it kind of started with Dr. Audrey Evans in Philadelphia, who back in the early 70s was chief of pediatric oncology at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. And she was just a dynamo, but she recognized that children receiving treatment needed more than just the medical care. They needed mom and dad. And a lot of families never left the hospital. They would sleep in waiting rooms or on the floor in the hallway. And she became a real big advocate for we need to do something to resolve that so that we can take care of the whole family and not just treat the child. Through her efforts, it eventually led to the Ronald McDonald House getting involved thanks to the support of the Philadelphia Eagles, who came alongside with their ownership group, and a couple members of their ownership group in the early 70s were entrepreneurs in a beautiful little fast food restaurant trying to prove to people they could make hamburgers quickly, called McDonald's. And McDonald's has been a part of it right from the very beginning and built that first house 50 years ago.
Wow.
In Philadelphia. Locally here, we have a very similar story where Dr. Sherry Kovitz and her husband, Dr. Wes Kovitz, recognized the same thing, that families weren't leaving the hospital. They needed to be near their child. And they decided, why don't we do what they're doing in Philadelphia? Our mission is to provide essential services that remove barriers, strengthen families, and promote healing whenever a child needs treatment. And I think about all three levels of that because really what we're about is improving access to health care for families. Many of the families that stay with us couldn't afford to stay in a hotel to be that close to their child. And we have families that come from anywhere from a couple miles away to other states or anywhere throughout the CSRA or anywhere in Georgia coming because we have such a fantastic hospital here and we've got incredible care.
So I know you mentioned keeping families close, right?
Yeah.
So when we're talking about treatment, I mean, what kind of time frames are we looking at? Are we talking about 1 day? Are we talking about 1 year?
And the answer to both questions is yes.
Right.
We house about 1,000 families a year.
Wow.
In the house with 23 every night, and some of those families are here for a day. Mm-hmm. Some of those families our average length of stay is a week.
Okay.
That's a little bit of a misnomer because very few people stay a week. But we have families that might have a baby that's born prematurely and is going to be in the NICU for 4 months. Those families are going to be with us for 4 months. We have kids that come on a regular basis for cancer treatment. Wonderful program that Dr. Ted Johnson runs in looking at research and treatment for certain cancers.
So a community effort, are we thinking volunteers? Are we talking fundraising? Tell us a little bit more about how your impact on the community and then how the community can kind of help you.
Yeah. Well, there are so many different ways to talk about that. First of all, I want to thank our founding and forever partner, McDonald's. Local McDonald's within the CSRA do an awful lot to be able to support us. They're responsible for about 10% of our budget on an annual basis.
Wow.
And a lot of that comes from when you as a customer drive through McDonald's and they say, would you like to round up? Say yes, because that money goes to your local Ronald McDonald House. One thing you might not know, those 1,000 families that we serve here, we don't charge anything.
Not a penny.
100% free of charge for our families.
Wow.
We do not have any government funding. We are 100% supported by philanthropy. So Jamie, this is our community kitchen where we have groups come in and prepare breakfast or lunch, and every single night we have a group that comes in and prepares dinners. We have groups that love to cook, and it's just wonderful. With the 4 different ovens, with the 2 different cooktop areas, and they're preparing meals for everyone in the house.
Right.
So we have 45 or 50 people here on a given time, and it's just fantastic to see the community come in here. And we've got some people who have been doing this for a really long
That's
time.
awesome.
We've got a volunteer, Leslie Duncanson, who's been doing this for 21 years,
Wow.
where he makes homemade pasta sauce. He makes not one, he makes 4 different sauces every time, from extra boring, he calls it, to extra spicy.
That's great.
Because he understands that there's a different palate that all of us have, and he
Sure.
wants to make sure it's enjoyable for everybody. But we have groups that come in and do that all the time. It's just wonderful to see. So this is our famed domino door, where kids just absolutely love to see me opening this up.
Well, David, thank you so much for bringing us in, showing us around this wonderful place, and telling us all about what you do. Tell us how the community can help you.
Well, Jamie, thank you, and it's an honor to be part of Blanchard Biz and all of that. I got to tell you, the best thing that you can do, find a way to get involved. Look around, and there are so many wonderful nonprofits around. Look at our Ronald McDonald House website, rmhcaugusta.org, and look at ways to get involved. Come in, cook a meal, volunteer, or just realize how many people we are helping every day.